Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I wanted to remind you before we get to Christmas, I wanted to remind you of this.
Your ultimate VPN partner. Christmas is all about having fun together. This year, being together is more important than ever. PureVPN wants to make Christmas extra special for you. Grab 82% off on our 2-year plan and gift 24 free monthly accounts to your loved ones. Enjoy unlimited access and online freedom to enjoy the festivities. PureVPN, your ultimate VPN partner.
All right, and now I wanted to show you this. Okay, and by the way, in this video, I think I put something together that's very interesting to me. I think that there's a bit of a coordinated, I won't say anything coordinated, but what I'll say is I think that we're seeing an indication that some of these major players in Silicon Valley are pissed about what they know some of these Web3 proponents tried to do. I get this vibe, and I'm going to put it together for you. And when I get done tying it together, you might just agree. And in fact, I think I got things a little out of order, but I'll try to skip forward so that I can explain it right. Okay, but first let's do this. From Bitcoin Crash, this is analysts giving their prediction. I told you there's going to be a lot of predictions for crypto for 2022. This is CNBC. A lot of people are saying there'll be a Bitcoin that will crash back down some. And then we've got first spot Bitcoin ETF. Who knows? Rotation into DeFi, and they mention not just Ethereum, but some of the others, like they've got Cardano and Solana and Polkadot mentioned there. And then they say a big year on the regulatory front, and we know all about that. They even mentioned down here, blockchain company Ripple is locking horns with the U.S. watchdog over XRP, a cryptocurrency it is closely associated with. The SEC alleges XRP is an unregistered security and that $1.3 billion worth of the tokens were illegally sold by Ripple and 2 of its executives. For its part, Ripple says XRP should not be considered a security. Okay, now I'm not going to go through this, but I do want to briefly mention it. John Deaton did an awesome thread on, he's doing the Howey test analysis where it involves XRP now. In other words, Howey test analysis 1 year later. I'm not going to go through that because I really want to drive the point home on this little thing I found. Okay, now, okay, so here we go. Now first, I'm going to skip to here, and I want to remind you, because this is important. The people in this timeline knew that Ethereum was going to get a free pass before the public knew. Did they own Ethereum? Is that legal? What else did they know that wasn't public information? Who knew the Ripple suit was going to be dropped ahead of time? Did they short XRP? Is that legal? Okay, now here's what I think that I'm starting to see Silicon Valley getting that I'm starting to get this vibe that a lot of them know what happened here and know that these people tried to pull something off. And I want to draw your attention to this. This is the part of this timeline. January 24th, Jay Clayton speaks at Stanford University's Rock Center. The next day, he has a meeting with Andreessen Horowitz. At this meeting, he appoints Chris Dixon to get industry players together. It's important to note Chris Dixon has now blocked me. Apparently, he does not like my putting out this timeline. He's the one that Jay Clayton put in charge, who requested a memo detailing a framework of industry players, including all of those law firms, and it was also Union Square Ventures. We know this from their own words. I mean, these are things, we've played the video and all of that. So these guys are the ones that knew that Ethereum, they had to know Ethereum was going to get a free pass. This is where the safe harbor memo came from. Lowell Ness said he wrote it. He said that he is Andreessen Horowitz's attorney, okay? So let's go back to here, okay? This was from TAIG XRP the other day. I don't normally care who dates who or whatever. Anyway, Chris Dixon is now dating Katie Hawn. He also points to a tweet where our old friend Joseph Lubin is replying to Chris Dixon. So they obviously know each other, and so he's replying to him. All right, and we know that Joseph Lubin was meeting with the SEC around this whole thing too, and we also know that Katie Hawn signed off. She was the one involved in calling XRP a virtual currency back in 2015. We also know she was on the board at Coinbase. We know that she then went to Andreessen Horowitz. We also know that she went to Andreessen Horowitz literally days. I mean, like, it was like 8 or 10 days after the Bill Hinman Ethereum free pass speech. She gets there. First thing that she does is she with Chris Dixon, they start a crypto fund, and part of what that crypto fund is going to invest in is Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay? You know all those things. Now, this was brought to my attention by XRP vet Diamonds to the Quantfi H bar in the sky. And he said, he was asking me if I noticed that both Elon Musk. Now, yesterday I was telling you, I've always thought Elon Musk. I've never really thought about Jack Dorsey. What we do know about Jack Dorsey is that he literally lived behind Greg Kidd's house before he created Twitter. And we know Greg Kidd was an early investor in Twitter. I showed you the ties yesterday because it was a ProCoinNews.com article about Elon Musk's ties. So I think he has some investment in XLM and in XRP. We've shown you some of that stuff. Well, I noticed the other day that he started taking shots at Web3. Well, what's Web3? Chris Dixon does literal threads on Web3. Web3, I believe, is the term, it's the marketing term that they came up with to promote this idea of the third web, or after Web 2, that being the internet and all. But here's the dirty little secret, folks. This timeline shows it. This Ethereum free pass was about trying to create an Ethereum monopoly. A monopoly so that you've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all DeFi and all the other stuff is built on Ethereum only. But they didn't count on us. They didn't count on John Deaton. That's the problem. Okay. Well, I think that I think this might be a great thumbnail. I think through a lot of the things we've shown in the XRP community army, whatever you want to call it, I think some of these Silicon Valley power guys are pissed off because I think they see what was tried to do. I think they see what a lot of these people tried to do. And I think some of them are pissed. These people, the people that you hear calling it Web3, when you hear Web3, and I've said it for a while, when you hear Web3, what you really need to hear is the people, whoever it was that was behind the Ethereum free pass, that was trying to create a monopoly so that all of the new digital assets were hatched from Ethereum, and that they were able to capture all of that wealth. Folks, I think that there's I'm going to call it Silicon Valley War, okay? And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. I believe there's a Silicon Valley war between, and you can see the sides. I'll show them to you. First one, Elon Musk. Has anyone seen Web3? I can't find it. Then Jack Dorsey comes in. It's somewhere between A and Z. Elon Musk says M something something. Okay? Folks, I don't know. What is Andreessen Horowitz called? A16Z. It's called A16Z. I think that these guys know what was attempted here. I can't prove it, but I think that's what we're looking at. Now, that's not the end of it, folks. And the M, this part now, and I'm not sure what he's referencing there, but look at this. ProCoinNews.com did an article on this the other day, and I grabbed this screenshot. I had to grab the screenshot because Chris Dixon blocked me. He says, I'm a huge fan of Jack and hope we can, because Jack always talks about Bitcoin. I hope we can eventually bring him around to Ethereum and other blockchains. Bitcoin is great as a digital gold, but there are other important applications that require other chains. I believe in you and your ability to understand systems. It's critical we focus our energy on truly secure and resilient technologies owned by the mass of people, not individuals or institutions. Only that foundation will provide for the applications you allude to. All right, so I think that he's taking another shot here at Chris Dixon and basically saying, no, I really think that these guys are saying, we know what went on here. Now we know what went on here. I think there's a riff here. I'm not done yet, folks. I'm going to show you Brad Garlinghouse's thread today. This came out today. But I want to draw your attention while we're talking about this to this part of the thread, which brings me back. Nope, wrong one. Hold on. Let me go. Not that one. Yeah, it was that one. Gary, which brings me back to the SEC. As chair, Gary Gensler seeks to expand its remit. He has taken an aggressively anti-crypto approach, and companies are already moving outside the U.S. Web2 was built with many American companies, but Web3, in parentheses, or whatever we want to call it, I'm telling you, we just watched Elon Musk, Jack Dorsey, and Brad Garlinghouse take shots at Web3. And who talks Web3? I can't show you because Chris Dixon blocked me, but he did a whole thread a few weeks ago or a month or so ago about Web3. And it was right while we were laying out all this timeline. I'm telling you, that's what's going on here. These guys, Brad Garlinghouse, Jack Dorsey, Elon Musk, some of these big Silicon Valley guys, they see what was attempted here, and I can tell this is Silicon Valley war. They're pissed, okay? They're pissed off, and they should be, because I think they all see what happened here. Now, I could be wrong, but look at this. This is TAIG. Look, this is Chris Dixon who's blocked me. Hey, Chris, you met with Jay Clayton just before the Ethereum Free Pass speech by Bill Hinman. Did you know the Ethereum Free Pass was coming? Were you one of the 63 emails sent out with a copy of the speech? Did Katie Hawn know? Coming from a mad father here. And remember, we've shown you 1,000 times. Remember when Vitalik Buterin was bragging about how they were going to locate in Switzerland to get around U.S. regulators? Well, Katie Hawn was an assistant U.S. attorney, the same one that went after Ripple back in 2015. So Katie Hawn would know more than anybody, right? So why is Katie Hawn okay with how Ethereum, and it's not my words, it's Vitalik Buterin's words, they literally went to Switzerland to get around U.S. regulators. Now listen, she was a U.S. attorney. Listen to what she says. They're not out of the reach because they went to Switzerland. Listen to her, not me.
Katie, I mean, this is your specialty, or one of your specialties, is sort of figuring out whether or not there's active fraud versus confusion on the consumer's perspective, and at what point regulators just step in to either prevent the fraud or at least give consumers a better shot at understanding what's going on. You mentioned, was it Bitfile? Who's doing the $4 billion ICO?
Oh, no, it's EOS.
EOS.
And I think it's Block One.
Block One.
Yeah.
So they explicitly say we're doing this in the Caymans so we can be out of reach of regulators.
Well, I don't know that they said so that. I mean,
that's what the Wall Street Journal says.
Well, okay.
So
I don't know that they would say
when
that.
you do that, when you're incorporating outside the U.S., what kind of protection? What kind of protection does someone in the U.S. have when they're engaging with that? And then two, if you're a regulator in the U.S. and you want to intercede, how do you go about doing that?
So I think, and this is not unique to the U.S. By the way, people say, well, why do you believe that? Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you what the law is. And the law is, it's not just in the U.S. There is broad extraterritorial reach, not just of U.S. securities laws, but of all kinds of different jurisdictions' securities laws. So I always wonder when some projects, I won't name names, say we're going to this jurisdiction or we're going to relocate here. The fact of the matter is, if you're marketing to U.S. investors, and you have U.S. victims, if there are people who lose money in this, you can bet that the U.S. regulators might well exercise jurisdiction no matter where you are. And it's not going to be enough to say, well, we're a shell company in the Cayman Islands. I'm not picking on EOS here, by the way. I'm just saying, I think what they said is to avoid regulatory scrutiny, Peter. I don't think they said that's why they went to the Caymans. I think they said that's why they were not going to market to U.S. investors or Chinese investors. However, I think one of the things regulators are going to rightly look at is, okay, even if you cut yourself off from the U.S. or Chinese market, did you know there was a secondary market and you were kind of willfully blind? So you knew that you were really having U.S. investors. And, you know, that's one of the reasons that these things take a lot of time. To do an enforcement action like that, you can bet that the government could be doing undercover buys. They might be doing search warrants. They'll be obtaining emails.
So a body of water is not going to prevent you from being regulated.
Well, Katie Haun has not expressed any problem whatsoever with what Ethereum did back in 2014. In fact, she and Chris Dixon are some of they're huge Ethereum fans, but they've not voiced any support for Ripple that I know of, or the lawsuit or anything like that, and they are completely backing anything Ethereum, most things that are basically Ethereum based, and we know that they were involved in the Ethereum free pass. It's right here. These are the facts, and they are not in dispute. I'm happy for any of these people that I mentioned. They're welcome to come on my show and tell me where the timeline's wrong. I will gladly let any of them tell you where the timeline's wrong. I'll have John Deaton on too if they want, and they can talk it all out. Now, this was yesterday with Tom Emmer, if you remember, okay? And he had retweeted Gary Gensler's tweet and basically sarcastic remark about Gary Gensler not protecting crypto. So I decided I would gift wrap this for the SEC. This is my Merry Christmas gift wrapped whistleblower alert. Ethereum 2.0 security issuance in progress. A new chain, a new network. And at the beginning of this clip, I get the Bernie Madoff whistleblower to actually blow a whistle so that they can know that this is a whistleblower alert.
As the man who went to the Securities and Exchange Commission and blew the whistle on Bernie Madoff and his $50 billion fraud.
It is a new chain, but this is not a separate ecosystem. This is an extension to the existing Ethereum chain and ecosystem.
So
and the bridge basically allows you to take Ether and potentially other assets that you have inside of the existing Ethereum 1.0 network and move them through the beacon chain into the shards and into the Ethereum 2.0 network.
Right, so they're two separate networks. So these guys are in the process of issuing a security, and they're a common enterprise, because if they weren't a common enterprise, then these guys wouldn't be talking about what they're working on to make this happen. Okay? It's crazy. Today, Uphold announced, we're excited to announce that we will be supporting the upcoming solo airdrop following the snapshot on Christmas Eve, 8 p.m. UTC. Customers who hold XRP on Uphold on that specific date will be credited. Initial support will not include trading or withdrawals. More info to come. So you'll be able to receive it, but you won't be able to trade it. Now, this is the last update I saw in terms of how much solo you will get per XRP you have, like on Uphold. 0.013. Now, they said this was subject to change, so who knows? That could go up or it could go down, the amount you get. If you own solo when the snapshot occurs, then you'll get 1.54 solo for each solo that you are holding. So there's that. Now, I wanted to finish by showing you all something. I told you that ProCoinNews.com is the official sponsor of the Digital Asset Investor Hunting and Fishing Club. Well, I went down there this morning to throw out some corn for the deer. And I took this video because what I'm going to be doing is showing you all. I'll have ProCoin News. I got some stickers and some hats. And I'm going to make you a part of my life at the Hunting and Fishing Club and let you see what I do down there. And when you do see it, I'll tell you about how great ProCoinNews.com is, because it is great. It's an awesome. I actually go onto their news site, ProCoinNews.com, every morning now, because they're telling truth that these other crypto sites will not tell you, because they're owned by companies so they're creating narratives. That's not what ProCoinNews.com is about. Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and we're putting out corn at the hunting land. And this is brought to you by ProCoinNews.com because they are the official sponsor of the Digital Asset Investor Hunting and Fishing Club. So you're getting a little bit of a look. This is what it looks like when I come down to the land to put out corn for the deer or to come out here and fish. So go check out ProCoinNews.com, and that's where I go to get my crypto news because they tell it like it is and tell the truth. Thanks for listening. So here's what I'm going to do. This is going to be fun. I thought it'd be kind of funny and fun. What I'm going to do, like if I'm down there and I see a rattlesnake, I'm going to video it or take a picture of it, and I'll talk to you about what's going on. There's some big rattlesnakes down there, or if I have a deer on video or whatever, I'll show you pictures. Or if I go maybe I'll take you fishing with me sometime, and you can see me catch a largemouth bass. We've got bass, catfish, and brim down there. So I'm going to make you all a part. I thought it would be a fun way to have a sponsor. I'll make you a part of what I'm doing down there, and it's always going to be sponsored by ProCoinNews.com. I'm the Digital Asset Investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that ProCoinNews.com is the best. And I'm not just saying that because it's a sponsor. I know what all the other news sites are, and these guys are telling the truth about things other crypto news sites will not. Thanks for listening.